It was Group 1's galore on Friday night at Gloucester Park, and while it might have been a little chilly in the grandstand, the action on the track was hot, hot, hot.
And the green light goes on, they're away and racing.
The 2-year-old fillies kicked off the big money races with the running of the owner's only $100,000 2-year-old Westbred Fillies Classic.
Flying Margarita got away okay. Whitby's Gamble. Sarah Goody's starting to zip over from the outsiders, looking for the lead, but they're driving underneath.
Red Hot Roxy already had a Group 1 next to her name and ran a $1.80 favourite.
All American Queen is right on the back of the favourite Red Hot Roxy, and then in turn is Do a Little Rock and Roll.
After settling, Gary Hall Jr. put the filly to work and parked her in the breeze outside Flying Margarita, who worked hard early to obtain and maintain the leader's position.
On the outside now is Red Hot Roxy put into the race by Hall Jr. the favourite, and Sarah Goody's about to get the cover 1-1.
Justin Prentice, who had 3 youngsters engaged in the race, settled his drive Do a Little Rock and Roll towards the rear of the field and made his move with 1,200 metres left to run.
Do a Little Rock and Roll's been put into the race. Now All American Queen tried to get there but couldn't, and Stride to the Max went up 3 wide.
The Rock and Roll Hanover filly did all the work in the second half of the event, leading up the 3 wide line to join the favourite with a quarter to go.
And Red Hot Roxy has quickly raced up and taken the lead with Do a Little Rock and Roll coming after it.
Red Hot Roxy stuck her neck out and appeared to have the race in her clasp, but Do a Little Rock and Roll wasn't ready to let this one slip away.
Coming up towards a home turn though, and Red Hot Roxy doing it really well at the moment. It's Red Hot Roxy from Do a Little Rock and Roll. Now All American Queen's getting home okay, and Stride to the Max is battling on as well. In the straight though, and Red Hot Roxy is nicely clear. Do a Little Rock and Roll's coming at it though. Red Hot Roxy just in front. Do a Little Rock and Roll's driving. Do a Little Rock and Roll grabs Red Hot Roxy and got up to beat her.
159.4 was the mile rate, with a final 800 metres covered in 59.3 and 29.6.
She drew weight, so we thought she'd have to do plenty of work, which she did. She proved what a good mare she was when she sat on the outside of Red Hot Roxy and was good enough to pass her at, right on the line.
Owned by the Charles family, Do a Little Rock and Roll broke her maiden status and took her earnings to just under $75,000. Next to step onto the track were the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings.
It's a very good field, a smart field of 2-year-olds here.
The keys to the race were handed to Wesley with barrier 4. The classy colt had shown his ability to lead and win on multiple occasions. However, Chris Lewis and the Real Ideal had other plans.
We got trouble early, and galloping its way out, its Major Bubbles has galloped badly and also checked severely there in the run were a few of them. Arzak Whitby found a little bit of trouble in the early stages, as well as the Beachcomber, and on settling down, the Real Ideal doing it comfortably early on.
Even quarters followed the early burn, and with a lap to go, his main rival was locked in traffic.
Wesley's buried in the centre.
They tried, but they just couldn't get over the pacing WA-owned colt.
The Real Ideal started to sprint 30.2 next quarter. At the moment, he's trying to hold them. Braylon Jet 3 wide. No run, Major Pocket. Almighty Joe Lewis might have got a little check there. The Real Ideal kicks into the straight. Major Pocket is into the clear. The Real Ideal in front. Major Pocket trying very hard. And then Braylon Jet and Almighty Joe Lewis. But the Real Ideal is in front near the line. And the Real Ideal has won it well.
158.1 was the mile rate. The win, the Real Ideal's 3rd career victory, took his earnings to a snip under $88,000.
Yeah, he runs some nice even quarters, and then still has a little bit of toe. He's got some speed about him as well.
He has, yeah. No, he's going to make a nice horse, I think.
Race 5 on the night was the owner's only 3-year-old Westbred Fillies Classic at Group 1 level, and it belonged to the outstanding Bettor's Delight Slick Chick filly.
And Dodolicious, the raging favourite, brilliant filly, is certainly taken all before her.
Dodolicious was gifted barrier 3 in the post position draw and was gifted the lead in the run.
And Dodolicious isn't really firing out brilliantly. She's 3 wide, pressing forward now.
Unworried for the remainder, Ryan Warwick let his charge slip down the back, covering the 3rd quarter of the last mile in 28.8, then home in a blistering 27 seconds, untouched.
Dodolicious is clear in the straight though. 7 metres away is Maiden Impression, trying very hard and running a really good race. Sheer Rock and Roll might get up and run third. Bethany H is getting out and battling on Better Bar, but Dodolicious races right away, and Dodolicious wins very easily.
Win number 13 from 21 attempts, including a win in this same race as a 2-year-old. She brought her career earnings to over $405,000, a mighty feat for a Westbred filly from a humble dam.
To be able to do what she's done really does show the it can be done in the West. You don't have to go to New Zealand and spend the big money. You can do it right here at home and really enjoy it even more.
Yeah, that's right. The mare is not fancy bred. You know, we've had her for a long time, had about 9 foals from her, all good earning horses. And we used a nice stallion this time. But having the Westbred bonus system here, you know, it repays itself. So, great that we can do it in our backyard and for such good money.
It was a hard act to follow for the 3-year-old colts and geldings, but given this reaction, well, it's safe to say they did a good job.
Green light goes on, they're away and racing now.
All-American Boot Scooter was given no favours as trainer Dennis Roche was handed the Barrier 8 saddlecloth. Fired off the arm, the All-American Ingot gelding could only find the breeze as New World Order dictated the race.
New World Order on the inside. American Boot Scooter got caught wide, but he's pressing on. Destined to Rule just making him work a little bit there. Now eases back in the centre.
The son of Rich and Spoiled travelled like a well-oiled machine for driver Nathan Turvey. Never headed, New World Order stung down the back in 27.8 and home in 28.5, a 156 mile rate and a Kleenex moment for many on course.
And in the straight he goes for home on New World Order. New World Order in front. Bet or Million is into the clear though. Bet or Million racing to New World Order. Then Natural Disaster, but New World Order kicks on the inside and New World Order is won from Bet or Million.
To do it for a trainer like Ray, who's definitely one of the good guys. I don't think there'll be anyone on course who won't be stoked for Ray tonight.
No, exactly. Yeah, all the connections, they're wonderful people, and they've been great supporters of mine and of Ray's as well. So for Robbie and all the Northern boys and Ray, yeah, it's great to see.
The Group 3 Get the Tab Touch Winter Cup, a $35,000 free-for-all over 2,536 metres was the last of the big money on offer. And after not having a runner in the Westbred races, Gary Hall Sr. was well connected in this.
And the green light goes on, fairly even line out with Mighty Flying Thomas, Tricky Sticks and Ideal Alice early on.
Senior saddled up 5 horses for the Winter Cup, but it was Run One Over who did the best.
Run One Over's pressing forward out 3 wide. Billy's a star worse than midfield, waylaid on its back.
Starting from the 6th hole, Gary Hall Jr., who was filling in for brother Clinton, who opted to drive the richly talented Elegant Christian, balanced his horse out of the gate and made a sustained run to find the lead after a lap.
Run One Over is going to look for the lead here and is going to find it from Ideal Alice, who takes the trail. Mighty Flying Thomas without cover.
His biggest danger was on his back in Ideal Alice, who only saw daylight with 150 metres to go.
And he goes for Run One Over. Run One Over shot away from them. Great battle for the Miners. Waylaid getting up there on the outside of Ideal Alice. Tricky Sticks flies late, but Run One Over. Run One Over is won from Ideal Alice, Waylaid and Tricky Sticks, I believe, in that order.
A trifecta to the Halls and a 9th Winter Cup to Gary Hall Sr.
He's got a lot to learn about racing before he wants to tackle those class of horses again like the Inters. So it's just all learning for him at this stage, but he's got plenty of bottom to him, which is always a plus.
Scott Hamilton for Gloucester Park TV.